Okay, in this question, it's really your understanding of the use of lab equipment in performing a reaction. Now, this is esters, which can undergo hydrolysis with acid, and the organic products can undergo distillation as well as reflux. So, if you recall, reflux is when basically, so you need to really discuss these separately. Oops. So with reflux, obviously the main point with that is we're increasing the rate of reaction, and that reflux enables us to keep on heating the reactants, and if they turn into a vapor or they're vaporized, because often organic chemicals are volatile, that the condenser attached to the flask is being cooled, and that will cause it to turn back into a liquid, return to the reaction vessel, can carry on reacting for a considerable length of time, and ensure we get maximum yield. So in organic chemistry, it's quite common for us to get only a small percentage in terms of product. So maximizing this through increasing the reaction is very important. And any solvent, of course, that's used as well, that also won't be lost, and will be condensed back into a liquid. Now, distillation is a way of separating the different liquids that we have, and that relates to the boiling point. Now, for instance, when we heat something, whatever's going to have the lowest boiling point will turn to a gas first. That will be then cooled in the condenser and turned into a liquid. And if we held it at that temperature, that's the only product that we would get across. Now, we may want to keep what's in the reaction vessel, and we may want to get rid of something with the lower boiling point. It depends on the situation. And we can then raise the temperature to try and get across another substance. But usually, for instance, this is talking about the distillation in terms of esters. So an ester itself, assume if we had a fairly high rate of reaction and we managed to hydrolyze all of it, and we're left with an alcohol and an acid, the alcohol would have a lower boiling point than the acid. Okay, and that would come across. An ester would be lower than either of those. So we'd have to take care to not get too much in the way of ester, although we could obviously get that to come across, and at a lower boiling point remove that, then raise the temperature and give it come across. But as long as you do a good case of explaining what these processes are all about, reflux and distillation, and reflux about rate of reaction, distillation really about getting a pure sample of liquid, and making sure that you separate it based on boiling point. And you can talk about boiling points and go back to absolute basics, that the boiling point represents the strength of the intermolecular bonds, and as we raise the temperature we're able to break those bonds, and the ones with the weakest bonds and the lowest boiling point are the ones that will come across first. Anyway, what's a complete explanation is really what's required for doing a good job of this question. Just make sure you hit all the points and explain them in detail: condensation, change of state, etc.